Minecraft Trails and Tales, the 1.20 update, is mere weeks away. We don't quite have a release date yet, but we know it's coming. Now, if you've been following the update cycle, you know that there is a ton of stuff covered in this update. And you may be thinking, well, how do I prepare for all this stuff? And that's why in this video, I'm going to take you through everything that I'm doing in my world to take it from 1.19 up into the 1.20 update. All the steps that I'm doing, all the items I'm preparing, all in this video. And there is a lot to cover, so without any further delay, first up, banner shields aren't quite new to the game of Minecraft. They've been on Java Edition for quite some time. But in the new 1.20 update, they are coming to Bedrock Edition. Now, if you don't know what a banner shield is, basically you combine a banner that has a pattern, a color, anything you want on it, and that pattern goes on the face of the shield. It's seen as a very unique way of expressing elements of storytelling in your world. And if you want to prepare for it in 1.20, I recommend going out and searching for some banner patterns, or if you have some, keep them close by. Or even if you want to, design a banner right now that you want to put on a shield, because as soon as the update drops, you can open your inventory, combine that pattern with the shield, and moments after opening the game, you can have access to one of the brand new features. Calibrated sculk sensors are some of the most complex bits of redstone we have gotten in any of the last updates, but they're not all that hard to craft. If you have a sculk sensor and a couple of amethyst crystals lying around, you're pretty much good to go. But if you don't have any of those yet, I recommend traveling to a deep dark and finding either a catalyst or a couple of sculk sensors to take home with you. And to find any amethyst geode, all you have to do is go low into your world, explore a couple of caves, and you're almost guaranteed to run into one. Grab a couple of blocks, grab a couple of crystals, and you're on your way. Chiseled bookshelves and hanging signs aren't going to be that hard to get your hands on, but you're going to want an excess supply of wood. You see, chiseled bookshelves require 6 planks and 3 slabs, and the hanging signs require a whopping 6 stripped pieces of wood, and 2 chains on top of that. So it's definitely not going to hurt having an excess supply of wood laying around for when you want to craft these signs, and the chiseled bookshelves. And one thing you probably didn't think was going to be a part of this video, I'm going to recommend that you guys go and mine for diamonds right now. You see, diamonds are going to be a lot more important and a lot more valuable than they are now in the new update. Not only are they fancy and flashy and all that stuff, but with the new netherite upgrade system, you're going to need 7 diamonds to duplicate a netherite upgrade template. Now, if you don't find a bunch of these templates, there's a good chance you're going to need to duplicate it just to take your gear from diamond to netherite. It's a little bit steep. But for most of us that don't play on a server where diamonds are the economy, that's not going to be an issue. But it won't hurt having extra diamonds around. And if you have extra time right now, it wouldn't be that bad to go out and get a couple more. Now, depending on your fashion choices, you're also going to want to stockpile some of these items. Amethyst shards, copper ingots, diamonds, emeralds, gold ingots, iron ingots, lapis lazuli, nether quartz, netherite ingots, and redstone dust. All of those materials can be used to trim your armor, and as we all know, armor trim is one of the biggest aspects of this 1.20 update. I'm not saying you have to stockpile all of these, but narrow down a color you want to trim your armor with, and make sure you have some extras of that mineral. Now, of course, these minerals are essential if you actually want to see the trims of your armor. And if you're unfamiliar, to put a trim on an armor, you need your piece of armor, a smithing template, and you're required to have some kind of mineral. So this is something you need to think about right now. Now, I know they're not that common, but mob heads are getting a huge rework in this update. You see, if you take a note block and you put a mob head on top of it and you power that note block, that block is going to play the sound of whatever mob is sitting on top of it. Of course, in order to do that, I need the mob head first. And getting mob heads can take some time. And if you do go this route, I recommend saving at least one of those charge creepers, because in this update, piglin heads are now dropping. They're going to have the same functionality as added to the old heads, and they do this really cute flapping thing with their ears, and they're just so adorable. And remember, you only get one mob head per charge creeper, so don't make the mistakes that I did, and make sure you grab one for each of the mob heads you want to get. As I mentioned earlier, upgrading your gear and tools to netherite is going to get a lot harder in this update. So my recommendation is, if you have a lot of spare netherite ingots laying around, maybe take the time and get some good backup gear. And take that backup gear to the next level. Upgrade all those extra tools up to netherite. If you have netherite to spare, of course, because the cost is only going to get that much more expensive in this coming update. One of the first things announced in the 1.20 update was this new bamboo wood family. And if you saw that day one and didn't think immediately you needed to go and make a bamboo farm, I'm telling you right now, go and make a bamboo farm. Not only will you get access to this incredibly beautiful wood type family, you'll also get access to unlimited plank blocks without having to touch a single tree. The addition of this bamboo wood means that you can theoretically just AFK for all of the wood you would ever need. That's wood for crafting chests, wood for crafting pistons, signs, fences, anything. And all you have to do is stand there and wait for it to grow? Come on, it's too easy. So if somehow you don't have a bamboo farm, you need to get on that right now. Well, I've done all that. What else can I do to prepare? I recommend finishing up old projects. The last thing you want to do is enter this new update with a bunch of ideas for projects while leaving behind a bunch of projects you haven't finished yet. So take a minute, look around your world, and finish up any of those projects you haven't gotten around to. Trust me on that one. And this point might be obvious, but you're going to want to stop exploring right now. 1.20 is revitalizing every single loot table to every structure in the overworld, the end dimension, and the nether dimension. Minus ruin portals, but who cares about those? But not only do you have to look out for those old structures, we also have a new biome on the way, which I can't believe we've made it this far into the video without me mentioning a single time. But yeah, if you don't want to make it harder on yourself and have to go even further to explore new terrain, stop exploring right now. Or, if you're like me, and I'm sure a lot of other people that are bringing their worlds from 1.19 into 1.20, you're going to want to trim your chunks, and then stop exploring, of course. Trimming chunks is something that a majority of players do if they're bringing their old worlds into a new update. And it's honestly a pretty simple process, but I'm not going to include that process in this video as I don't want to bloat it. But I will leave the link to the video that I'm going to be using as a guide in the description of this video. I've used it before, I'm sure a lot of people have used it. I trust you'll be able to use it and understand it completely fine. Now, if you've made it this far and you're still looking for things to do, I have one last recommendation for you. Maybe it's time to stop playing the game. I know, hear me out. At this point, we're a couple weeks away from the update, and I know you don't want to burn out before the new update comes out. So maybe take this time to go and play some other games, go outside and touch grass, see your family, your friends, all those kind of things. They miss you. Trust me, a breath of fresh air will do nothing but rejuvenate your joy and creativity towards this game. And as soon as the update drops, you'll be opening your game with so much enthusiasm, opening your world, and getting right to playing and enjoying this new update. And with that final tip, that's pretty much everything that I'm going to be doing to prepare my world for 1.20. I hope you all learned something and got some ideas for preparing your own world to take into the 1.20 update. I really appreciate you being here, and as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.